We are live on YouTube. All right, boom. Excellent. Now let's go live on Facebook. Let's see if it lets me. Ho, that's pretty cool. I got two tabs open using the same device on that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I must say, technology boy is something else. Let me tell you. All right, so let me just go ahead and share that. Share the Facebook. All right. Let's see. And we are shared up. Boom, we are shared up on Facebook. All right, we live. Boom, we're looking good. We're looking good. We're looking good. Looking good across the board. All right. So yeah, let's get into it. So as you know what this is, the Haiti Biz News Show, Monday to Friday, right? And what we talk about is news that is going to affect what you're doing from an economic standpoint, or potentially what you could do from an economic standpoint. And so, we're here providing that information. And more importantly, we're looking to provide analysis. We're looking to provide a way for you to act on that news in a way that's, going to bring money in your pocket. Preferably, it's going to bring or increase your chances to be successful, because we need you to be successful. That's the only way Haiti has a chance of being successful, is if whatever venture you're trying to get into succeeds, right? So today, the news we're going to talk about, again, everything I talk about, HaitiBizNews.com, HaitiBizNews.com. It's on there with a bunch of other information, topical, because we don't have a Haiti Bloomberg, right? Haiti is not worthy of such concentration of business, which is the problem, right? And so HaitiBizNews.com, we aggregate all the business-related news, good or bad, and present it to you. So HaitiBizNews.com, everything I'm talking about. So there's a really interesting story coming out on the clothing market in Haiti, right? So we have some really good news. We got some really good news that we've seen a 7.7 increase year over year of clothing exports, right? From 861 million to $927 million, right? And that's keep in mind, we had a lot of turmoil throughout last year. We remember the June 6th, June 7th stuff that happened. And by the way, IG, let me know if y'all can hear me. I had some issues last time. I'm not sure if it's still coming in clear or not. Let me know so I can make adjustments. And despite a difficult year, remember June, or was it July, we had those massive protests that a lot of it lasted a couple of days, and some businesses were closed, were burnt, and again, it was all over the corruption. It was all over high fuel prices. It was all over inflation. It was all over dissatisfaction with Moise just not listening and caring about his constituents, right? All valid reasons. Of course, the execution by the 1% actors who did cause damage is not good. We can never advocate for that. But and Christy said she was stuck during that. I'm sorry to hear that. Certainly, I think there's a lot of folks who are stuck on that, and we got to do a video just on that at some point. But despite that, right, we still had that 7.7% growth, right? And they're talking about adding 14,000 jobs next year. That's huge. That's huge, man. When you talk about a country where jobs are really not, seen, not at all emphasized, right? That's a big deal to see 14,000 jobs, but to put it in context, 1 week of Haiti Biz is equivalent to, right, is equivalent to losing $20 million, right? And so again, we have to figure out a way to have our political system be more stable to allow growth to happen. And it's always a cart before the horse. I'm talking to folks who are stateside. Oh man, I can't invest in the country. You're my old tetamba, right? But they're tetamba because you're not investing. They're tetamba because we don't have enough economic activity to make it stable, right? It's a chicken before the egg sort of deal, right? And again, as I mentioned every time I get on air, there's folks in this country who are doing well. There's folks in this country, Syrians and other folks who are using the right strategy I say, we need to use, which is actually, hold on a second. I see my camera's tilting. All right. Okay, that's fixed. It was tilting there. And uses the camera, and uses the same strategy as these guys, which is, working together, sharing resources, sharing knowledge, sharing information to ensure that, we have, your venture has the best chance of being successful, right? But it's I like talking about news like this because first, I'll be honest, it doesn't come often enough. It doesn't come often enough, right? To have the sort of positive news economic stories like this. Especially if you watched my episode yesterday, it was nothing but news that just wasn't positive. But again, I don't hide that. It's not this. A lot of folks want to call me delusional and naive about Haiti and its opportunities, but I don't hide the negative. I don't hide the difficulty that it is to do business or try to move in this country. I'm very open, and the whole point is to be open and talk more about the solutions. Let's talk about solutions. Let's talk about how we overcome the problems that are very evident. Right? I'm not sure how clear my mic is coming, but right now, they haven't given electricity in my area or my office area for going on, two-ish days. And the day before they gave maybe an hour, right? So if you listen to my mic hard enough, right, you'll hear that my Delco is running, right? You see what I'm saying? So that's just the reality of it. So I don't hide any of that. But nonetheless, I'm in it for the long term. I'm in it for real solutions that are going to impact the country and impact real lives, and not just handouts and cherry. And the way we do that is by talking about business, talking about how to overcome, talking about strategies to execute. So just to get into details with this news story, the particular plant that's doing well is up in the Northeast on the Dominican border, and that plant is run by a very wealthy Dominican, and I don't know, depending on who you ask and who you talk to, there's more pessimism on that strategy because some folks say, oh, well, everything's done in Dominican and they just go over there, they add a tag that says made in Haiti and then they ship it out and get the tariffs. I don't know. I haven't had a chance. I would love to at some point do a Seejeanty episode where we visit one of these, facilities and get a chance to, get one-on-one with an owner and speak with them and get exactly how much is being done in Haiti versus outside, right? So I can't address those sort of, perspectives, but I can tell you, again, they're about to grow 14,000 jobs, hiring Haitians, right? I can tell you that, right? I can tell you that, given that just this week, and this ties into my next news story, we might as well talk about it right now. Minimum wage has increased in the country from 350 good to 500 good. Yeah, not so much in nominal terms, right? But that's an increase of 42%. That's a big deal, especially when we've been having inflation that's been in the double digits going on for a while, given that a lot of the discontent that drove have been driving the protests has been because of wage and living standards. And now that you have an increase in the good, which affects, to be honest, it affects folks in places like this, in plants like this, overnight, they're given a 42% increase in their salary. I mean, that's a big deal, right? That's how you change things. That's how you impact, right? And that's power to the people as well, to show that some of their gripes and concerns have been heard, right? So hopefully we can get a little bit of stability going forward. I know there's supposed to be protests. Was it today? Yeah, I think it's today. I think I saw something. But hopefully that keeps folks at home and allow the economic to churn and recover from what's happened the past few days. But so whether or not, how the dynamics between the Dominican and Haitian enterprises when it comes to apparel, right? Or however that dynamic is, at the end of the day, we have Haitians being employed, right? And the reciprocity of spending power happening in Haiti, and the fact too, I don't mind that we have a decentralization of power happening, and it's not necessarily all in Port-au-Prince. This economic growth is going on outside the city, which is ultimately very important for the overall stability of the country. Right. So I can't beat a horse to bed. Is that expression? Beat a horse to death as much as I've been doing to say how much good news this is. And again, there's going to be folks who say, oh well, it's sweatshop. It's sweatshop. It's not. But listen, the job's a job. It's a path in the right direction. From all accounts, these folks are treated well. On all accounts, these folks, if they weren't working here and making this income, they wouldn't be working anywhere else, right? And certainly the idea is that, as we've seen in every other country that where this has happened, India, Bangladesh, Philippines, you name it, go on the list. There's a period of 5 to 10 years where the economy fully engages in this activity. And then because of the economic, the pass-through money and the money that stays in the economy and circulation of money, and other investments that continue to happen, right? Because once folks see that, a country's economy can handle that basic function, other styles of investment comes in. You see that in 5 to 10 years, economies tend to then rise and move away from that to a more stable, more value-added sort of businesses. So again, when I hear criticism of apparel, I say, yeah, it's not the easiest, right? But certainly it's the right direction. And just look at other cases in history, and in 5 and 10 years, our economy would transition out of that into something even more productive and less stigmatic, right? So that's all I'm saying. Let's give it a chance. Let's see if we can push through and get some positive growth in that direction. You know what I mean? So I think that's the news story that I want to talk about. Well, these are 2 news stories between the minimum wage that was passed and the incredibly good news of apparel market growing. Again, HaitiBizNews.com, HaitiBizNews.com. We aggregate economic news, one-stop shop. Take a look in the morning, see what's going on, and how to adjust what you're doing based on that news. Right now, it's coming through French. I'm working with my web developer to make it come through English because this whole thing is done in English. Même des gars fait le créole, j'ai même fait un débat sur net là pour me dire qui langue de doit parler. Est-ce qu'il y a avec créole ou moins ou est-ce qu'il y a anglais fini tout le monde parce que dans 10 moun 9 moun dim et on nous fait l'anglais parce que c'est langue ça qui c'est langue business, c'est langue internationale, on nous fait comme ça. Just me dire que si nous devons des cafés, mais c'est nous-mêmes qui disons nous qui en anglais et ben qui en anglais. And sorry, folks, I had to talk a little bit of Creole. I just told folks I can't do it, even if it's accented. So I don't have much comments to talk about. I mean, yesterday we did engage the YouTube comments, and there's nothing new from that perspective. If you haven't seen, we dropped a really good video on Montcel the other day, and it's getting some incredible traction, man. It is just blowing up. I mean, it is viral. I mean, it's almost about to push 1K views. So if you haven't seen either one of those videos, do take a look at them. I think so far it might be my best work. I don't know. But take a look at them. Got some real good content being dropped soon, later. So do make it a point to take a look at that as well. And yeah, again, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back. Today's Friday, so we'll be back Monday. Hopefully we can get back to our usual format. Not that I don't like the lives. The lives were pretty cool, especially when I have folks commenting like my IG folks do. All right, Christy. All right, Christy, appreciate it. And though I do like the when you folks do type, okay, Stanley. Okay, all right, Stanley, appreciate it, Stanley, with the comment about my career, I appreciate it. And I do like lives because it's immediate feedback to folks, which is great. But again, I like the formatting of our usual show because infographics and people have time. It's easier for them to keep track, and we do different graphics to keep their attention going. So it's certainly where I want to go when we have the bandwidth. As I mentioned, our video editing is just been very busy. We have a lot of clients around the world that we work for, and I have to grow my staff, but we're moving that direction. So, but anyhow, again, thanks for watching. Until we're back at it again.